Hey guys, it's Amanda, and today we're gonna have some real talk. So I feel like I've done a lot of videos about my thyroid cancer and my hematoma, but I haven't really done one that explains more about those things, that are more informational, and I feel like people out there are looking for those types of things. So I decided to do a two-part video. This part is going to be more focused on thyroid cancer, and the next one is going to be more about what a hematoma is and all of that. So without further ado, here we go. This all started back when I had my car accident, and I actually had a CAT scan afterwards that was going to look, and I don't think there was much significant, but they did tell me that it looked like I had nodules on my thyroid, and to bring that up to my doctor. So when I went to see my primary care physician, I let her know that they had said that in the results, and she looked it up, and she thought it was weird because when she was feeling my neck and looking at it, it didn't seem like there was anything abnormal. So obviously there needed to be further tests done because they had saw this on the CAT scan. What she did was send me to get an ultrasound on my neck. So I went in and did that, and it did prove that I did have nodules on my thyroid that needed to be looked at. After that, my doctor sent me to an endocrinologist who was going to focus on my thyroid, and she said that I needed to get a biopsy to check out these nodules. Usually they were nothing. So I went back to her, and she did the biopsy, and what that is they were sticking needles into my neck, which seems kind of horrifying, but it really wasn't as bad as you'd think. There were 2 nodules on my thyroid, so she took a sample from each, and what it did detect was that it was in fact thyroid cancer. So when you find out that you have cancer, obviously there's a lot of different feelings. There's fear and sadness and anger, and I feel like I went through all of those in a matter of minutes. But I did have a lot of support, family support, and my doctor was knowledgeable, and she definitely put me at ease. So I was very happy with the doctors that I had, because she made me more aware about thyroid cancer and let me know that it's not as aggressive of a cancer as some of them are. So that's not to downplay it, but it definitely put me at ease a little bit that all that really needed to be done was to remove my thyroid. Now, when I say all that needed to be done, I mean it is a surgery, but there wasn't going to be chemo and all of the things that people usually associate with cancer. So that was relieving to me. Now, when I was looking up different people's experiences with thyroid cancer, I feel like I had found a lot of things that were contrary to what my actual experience was. When I was looking it up, I saw a lot of people that were having a really hard time with thyroid cancer, and a lot of that also had to do with the idea that people call it, like, the good cancer to have. Now, I don't think any cancer is really the good cancer to have. I would really prefer not to have cancer. But I do feel fortunate that if I had to have cancer, it was one that was less aggressive. So I don't think it should be downplayed, but I can understand where other people's frustration would come in. But I would rather look at the positive and say, well, it could be worse, and at least I can make it better. Anyway, so I'm just going to tell you what my experience was, and if you won't need to go out and find what other people felt during this time, then feel free to do so. But what happened for me is we scheduled the surgery. I was going to have a thyroidectomy because both of the nodules had signs of cancer, and it would be best to just take my entire thyroid out at this point. So I scheduled the surgery. I went in. It was pretty simple. It was really a one-day surgery, but he kept me overnight just to monitor my levels of, like, my vitamins, because when you take your thyroid out, your calcium levels can go down, and they also are monitoring my vitamin D. So that's where I have this lovely scar. They just did that small incision and took the entire thyroid out. As far as post-surgery, I was only out for 2 weeks, I think, and it really wasn't that bad. I had a very good experience. I've been fortunate with every surgery that I've had that I haven't had a whole lot of pain. They had said that I might experience some in my neck and to keep it a certain way, but I really didn't find that necessary. There was a little bit of hoarseness after, and there is a chance, there are people monitoring this, but there is a chance that they can hit your vocal cords and you can just have a hoarse voice forever, which is kind of scary, and I was super worried about that. You know, out of all the things to be worried about, I was worried about that, but obviously that didn't happen. But afterwards, there was definitely a little bit of discomfort inside, not so much with like movement or anything like that, but I think that I had it fairly well considering. Now, after the surgery, what happens is, because not having a thyroid, your thyroid regulates a lot of different things in your body, weight and various other things. So you have to have something producing that hormone. And because I didn't have a thyroid, now I take a pill every day called synthroid that produces that hormone for me. So it took a while to get that level to where it needed to be. They have different doses, and I think that's might be some of what other people were dealing with, because it can affect, you know, the way your body is working. I feel like I was fortunate where I didn't feel like I noticed a whole lot of difference between when my level was bad and when they finally got it good. But everyone is different. So, but from my experience, it was not so bad. And so with monitoring those levels, they were also monitoring the cancer, like if they were able to detect any remnants of my thyroid or of cancer in there, and they did that through blood work. And thankfully, this past February, I found out that it actually is non-detectable, which was a really good sign, and my numbers have kept improving and improving, which, if those numbers weren't improving, there would be more likelihood that the cancer could redevelop in there, or that there were remnants of the thyroid where the cancer could reproduce again. So just to make sure that everything was good, I went for a repeat ultrasound, and I found out yesterday that actually there's nothing to be worried about in there, so that was really good news. If they had found stuff, if my numbers weren't improving, if they were able to detect cancer in the blood work, if there had been anything weird on the ultrasound, what they would have wanted me to do is take a pill that is called radioactive iodine. And I was happy to not have to take that pill, because there are a lot of different things. I think she had said that 2 weeks prior you have to go once in each week to get a shot, and then after that you take the pill, and you can't really be around anyone for 3 days. You kind of have to, you can't like touch other humans or animals. It could get them really sick, because obviously you're taking something radioactive. And also you had to have like your own separate trash can, make sure you're disinfecting everything, and you can't even throw your trash away, because the trucks can detect radioactiveness in trash and all of that stuff. So I was happy I didn't have to take that, besides the fact that I didn't want to put something radioactive in my body if I didn't have to. So that was good news. That has been my experience with thyroid cancer. Overall, compared with everything else I've been through, I feel like it was small potatoes, really. I mean, I had really excellent doctors, really excellent surgeon, and I had a really strong support system, so I feel very fortunate that this went as smoothly as it did. I can't say that that's everyone's experience, but I feel like if you're very knowledgeable of what's going on and what's going to happen, and just keep a positive attitude, it's something that you can get through, hopefully, simply. I've had a really good experience, so it's kind of hard to say. But there's definitely some stuff out there, so if you feel like taking a look, just be aware that not everything out there is definitely the way that your experience is going to go. I happen to have a very good experience with a lot of good doctors and a lot of good support. So hopefully that you have that. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will be putting out more videos like this with some of the things that I've been dealing with, so feel free to follow, and then we'll also have some more fun and happy things too. So thanks for watching, and see you guys later.